study, but it depend on income is taxable or not. It depend on their residential status. Their residential status. Now, taxability of individual income depend on residential status of an individual. These things you have to keep in mind. Taxability depend on the residential status of an individual. It means if the residential status R&OR, resident and ordinary resident, RBNOR, resident but not ordinary resident, and non-resident, that is a NR. Now these three residential status, and now on that basis we will consider whether such individual income is taxable or not. The individual income will be taxable or not. It depends on his residential status. Now this wordings is very important. What I say now. There are three kinds of residential status: R&OR, RBNOR, and NR. Three kinds of residential status: R&OR, RBNR, and NR. These things you have to keep in mind. Three kinds of residential status are there. Now, when we talk about scope of income under section 5, and we will consider about the income whether it is taxable or not, so it depend on the residential status of an individual. Now, how it is taxable, that we are going to learn. There are total 5 rules under section 5, and such rules are applicable for an individual who earned the income during the previous year. Now, friends, what kinds of rules are there? The first rule: income received and arises in India. Whenever the income received means accepted, arises means created, generated, and both the activities completed in India, then if the individual is a RNOR, it is taxable. If the individual is a RBNOR, then also taxable. If the individual is a NR, non-resident, then also taxable. Then second rule, income arises in India, but received outside India. Income arises in India, but received outside India. Arises means generated, created, accrued in India, but individual received the income outside India. If such individual is a RNOR, it is taxable. If such individual is a RBNOR, also taxable. If such individual is a NR, also taxable. Now, third rule under section 5, that is income received in India but arises outside India. It's a vice versa of second rule. It means income created, generated, accrued outside India but received in India, taxable to RNOR, RBNOR, and NR. It means taxable to all. Now, fourth rule: income received and arises outside India. Now, both the activities done in outside India. Income received outside India, income generated, created, and accrued also outside India, then such situation If individual is a R&OR, resident and order resident, then such income will be taxable. If the individual is a resident but ordinary resident or non-resident, then such income will not be taxable. Then fifth rule, income received and arises outside as a business income received and arise outside as a business income, then such income control from India. The income received and arise outside India as a business income or professional income, but control from India. If the individual is a RNOR, it is taxable. If the individual is a RBNOR, also taxable. If an individual is a non-resident NR, it is not taxable. So friends, these five rules are very important whenever we have to consider any kind of income earned by the assessee during the previous year. Now, I already informed that the taxability of income is always depend on residential status of an individual, whether income is taxable or not. It is depend on individual's residential status. What will be the residential status? That basis we have to consider such income taxable or not. Section 5 provide the five rules, and such five rules it is applicable to all assessees, all individuals. I hope you understood the rules. Now, friends, we will move further. Now, friends, this is a question that we are going to solve. Uh, this is a Mumbai University problem. This question was asked in 2016, and that we are going to learn. Now, see, friends, the question is Prasenjit Narwade has earned the following income during the previous year ended 31st March 2015. Compute his total income for the assessment year 2015-16, assuming he is resident and ordinary resident, he is resident and not ordinary resident, he is non-resident. Serial number, particulars, amount. Number one, income from agriculture in Sri Lanka, 15,000. Income accrued in France and received in India, 50,000. Income earned and received in London, 70,000. Profit of hotel business at Sydney, 15,000. Past untaxed income brought to India, 19,000. Income from business in USA controlled from India, rupees 16,000. Now this is a particular sum we are going to learn, we are going to solve. In this particular sum, Mr. Prasanjit Narwade, he has provided information regarding his income during the previous year, 2000, we can say 14-15, and and we have to assume that whether he is a RNOR, RBNOR or NR, and on that basis we have to put whether income is taxable or not. Now first, they are provided income from agriculture in Sri Lanka. Now Now, if you see that income from agriculture in Sri Lanka, now this particular situation, income from agriculture in Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is outside India. It means income arise outside India, and we have to assume that it is received also outside India. So we have to consider fourth condition, that is the income received and arise outside India, then taxable to R&OR and non-taxable to NR and RBNOR. So here only we have to put value under the column R&OR because it is taxable, and we will put the dot or dash because it is not taxable to RBN or NR because fourth condition is applicable. The next is income accrued in France and received in India. Accrued means arise, generated. France means outside India. But received in India, if you see the condition, income arise outside India and income received in India, the taxable to all. The same things we have to consider here. The taxable to R&OR 50,000, RBNR also 50,000, and NR also 50,000. Next, income earned and received in London. Again, fourth condition, income received and arise outside India. Then taxable to R&OR, non-taxable to RBNR and NR. Here, income earned and received in London, so taxable to R&OR 15,000 and non-taxable to RBNR and NR. Why? Because earn and received, both the things they do outside India. Therefore, it is taxable to R&OR and it is not taxable to RBNR and NR. Then fourth, profit of a hotel business at Sydney. Now Sydney, it is located in Australia city. It means profit generated outside India, received, we have to assume that received also outside India. Again, fourth condition, income received and arise outside India, taxable to R&OR and non-taxable to RBNOR and NR. The same we have to write here. 15,000 taxable to RBNOR, R&OR and non-taxable to RBNOR and NR. The next is past untaxed income brought to India. Past means before, it is not a current year income. Untaxed means which is not taxable. Taxable income, if it is brought to India, so there is no meaning to show taxable. Therefore, we can put as a non-taxable, non-taxable, non-taxable. Yes, I hope you understood what I say. Why it is no meaning? Because it is a untaxed profit. It is a past untaxed profit is there. Therefore, we cannot say that it is taxable. We will simply write here non-taxable, non-taxable, non-taxable. Then friends, next is sixth number, income from business in USA, control from India. If you see the fifth condition, income received and arise outside India as a business income but control from India, then taxable to R&OR and RBNOR, but it is not taxable to NR. The same way we have to consider here, it is control from India and arise and received outside India. Therefore, it is taxable to R&OR 16,000 and RBNOR 16,000. It is not taxable to NR. I hope you understood the how we will write Then after that we have to do the total of the all columns, and this total is called as a gross total income. If you see that this particular question was asked in Mumbai University for 10 marks, and how they allotted the marks, each amount figures they allotted half marks, on that basis they provided 10 marks. Sometime it may become for 15 marks question also. I hope you understood. And this particular question may become in your exam. Yes, do you have any doubt? Is there any doubt? We can ask the question. Yes, do you have any doubt or we have to move further? Now, this 41 number question that we are going to learn, in this particular question, Mr. Abhijit, an Indian citizen, furnishes the following particulars of income earned during the previous year relevant to assessment year 2018-19. Number one, professional fees received in India 22,000, income earned in India but received in Paris 24,000, dividend on shares of Indian companies 10,000, salary earned and received in France 28,000, income from agricultural in Nepal 30,000, income from business in UK, control from India 32,000. Compute his income for the assessment year 2018-19, assuming the residential status as R&OR and NR. We have to assume the all three residential status R&OR, RBNOR and NR. Now Abhijit, he has provided various kinds of information about the income earned during the previous year. Now, professional fee received in India, he has received this 22,000. It is taxable to all, whether he is a R&OR, RBNR or NR. Why it is taxable to all? Because it is received in India. Fee is received in India. Whether it is arise in India or not, this kinds of information is not available. But we have to assume that these fees also arise in India. Here, it is taxable to all. Next, income earned in India but received in Paris 24,000. Income earned, earn means generated, earn means arise, earn means accrue in India but received in Paris 24,000. Earn, generated, accrued. If it is in India, then taxable to all. It is taxable to R&OR, RBNR, and NR. The dividend on share of Indian company 10,000. One thing you have to keep in mind, dividend is Indian company's dividend is non-taxable. It is exempt. So it is non-taxable. We have to put non-taxable to all. Dividend on share of Indian company 10,000. It is non-taxable because why it is a non-taxable? Because it is exempted under section 10 subsection 34. Salary earned and received in France. Now France is a different country. It is outside India. In salary earn means generated, arise outside India. Salary received also outside India. Then taxable only R&OR. It is not taxable to RBNR and NR. Then income from agriculture in Nepal. Now Nepal is a different country. It is outside India. Agriculture income, if it is located outside India, it is taxable only RNOR, rule number 4, because income earned, arise and received outside India. It is taxable to RNOR. It is not taxable to RBNR and NR. The next, income from business in UK, control from India. The fifth number rule is there. Income arise and received outside India but control from India. It is taxable to RNOR and RBNR. It is not taxable to NR. So 32,000 will be taxable to RNOR and RBNR. It is not taxable to NR. Yes, hope you understood these conditions and the problems whenever we have to solve. See that I will not write anything, but whatever I discuss, that you have to write the questions and the answers. And if it is not possible right now, you have to put the points that this particular question we have to solve. And after completing lectures, I will keep this video on YouTube also. That time you have to see the YouTube and see the what kind of questions are there and how we will solve, and it will be the practice. So first you have to attend the live lecture also, and again you have to see these live lectures in our YouTube also, and it will be the good kind of study. You will easily study maximum part. If you have any difficulty, you can share in our chat box, or sometime you have to post it in the chat box, or you can put on your WhatsApp group also. Now friends, we have to move further. Question number 27. Mr. Tony, a British citizen, had the following income during the year ended on 31st March 2018. Income from house property in India 15,000. Income from property in Rome 10,000. Interest from bank account in India 1,200. Income from business in Bangladesh being controlled from India 16,000. Interest on bank account in USA 11,000. Salary earned and received in Tokyo 12,000. Income earned and received in London 13,000. Dividend from British company received in India 17,000. Compute his total income for the assessment year 2018-19 if he is a resident but not ordinary resident in non-resident. Now friends, again we have to solve similar kind of sum. First of all, we have to consider the name of the assessee, and we have to apply the five rules, and whether he is a RNOR, RBNOR, or NR. On that basis, we have to put his income taxable or not. Now, first transaction they are provided income from house property in India. It means income arise in India and income received in India. This 15,000 taxable to all. Income from property in Rome. Rome is a city outside India. It is a city in Italy. It is fourth number condition. Income received and arise outside India. Then taxable only R&OR. It is not taxable to R, RBNOR and NR. Interest from bank account in India. So interest from bank account in India, it means income earned in India, income arise in India, income generated in India, and income received in India, so taxable to all. That is R&OR, RBNOR, and NR. Income from business in Bangladesh being controlled from India. So income arise and received outside India as a business income, but control from India. The fifth number condition, it is taxable to R&OR and RBNOR. It is not taxable to NR. Next, fifth number, interest on bank account in USA. The condition number 4, income received and arise outside India, taxable only R&OR. Sixth number, salary earned and received in Tokyo. Tokyo is a city in Japan. It means income generated and received outside India. Again, fourth number rule, taxable only R&OR. It is not taxable to RBNR and NR. Income earned and received in London. Again, outside India, taxable only R&OR. It is not taxable to RBNR and NR. Dividend from British company received in India. Now, income arise outside India. British company means arise outside India. But received in India, if it is received in India, the taxable to all. The 17,000 is taxable to R&OR, RBNR, and NR. Yes, I hope you understood this particular problem related to the scope of income under section 5. Now we have discussed the three problems. What you have to do. Similar type of problem may become in your exam and you can easily solve. You have to study hard and see the how we will solve. Only simple 5 rules are there that we have to follow, and that basis we have to solve any kind of problem. Now I will stop here. What you have to do, again you have to see the YouTube and solve the all problems. 3 problems I provided. That problems you have to solve, and if it is any difficulty you can ask. Next lecture, whenever we will come, we will discuss the new topic, new module. It is very important, and that topic module we will give the I will give the PDF notes also. So this is enough for today's lecture. You have to do the study, and only thing is that you have to attend proper lectures, regular lectures. Very few students are coming, and it is very difficult to you, because what happened after that, the maximum number of chapters we have to complete, and it is very difficult to learn, because each chapter is depend for next chapter. Every chapter depend on the next chapter. If you know the first chapter, so you can easily understand the second chapter. Therefore you should become and attend the lecture. Okay, fine. So you have to come next lecture. Okay, bye. Good night.